So before, first of all, it should be to the Ilui Nishmat, my father, Gedalia Morel ben Matilda. When we were about to enter the Yamim Noraim, Rosh Hashanah and company, Yom Kippur, and so on and so forth, and everybody is in a tremendous, awakening towards that. But it kind of makes me sad because along the line we forget the rest of the days of the year. And really, what I'll talk about is really the issue of davening, of tefillah. Years ago, I heard from Rav Mordechai Eliyahu, alav shalom, the chief rabbi of Israel. He said, I was there when he said it, and it took me time to really understand that. He said that when a person prays, when a person davens, for Nayasa especially, he should feel and contemplate as if not a Kohen Gadol, Bekodesh HaKodashim, at least a Kohen Ba'avodah. A priest in the temple, sacrificing and so on and so forth, making korbanot, that that a machshava zara, a foreign thought, will make that korban, that sacrifice pasul, will make it blemished. And he said, because it says Mamlechet Kohanim veGoy Kadosh, therefore everybody has a potential to a certain extent to experience what is the avodah, especially since we say Uneshalma Parim Sefateinu, as it says in Hosea, we should pray in substitute or pray. Prayer will be as sacrificing bulls. So you see the magnitude of tefillah, the magnitude of prayer, and it's very interesting. Very interesting. We saw, what was it, last week? Yeah, last Shabbat we talked about Eglah Ufa. When they measure the distance, if they found a dead body in a field between cities, they measure it, and then they do the whole ritual, and then the sages say, "Yadenu lo shafchu et hadam hazot," our hands did not spill his blood, and so on and so forth. And we learned in Masechet Makot, where was it, like 2 years ago, something like that. We learned that the mothers of the Kohen Gadol used to bring food and clothing and so on and so forth to the Ir Miklat, to the refuge city, in order for the people who escaped to the refuge city not to pray for the Kohen Gadol to die, for the high priest to die, because they would have been able to go out of the refuge city upon the death of the Kohen Gadol, of the high priest. And therefore the Goel Adam, that person who seek vengeance on them, would not be allowed to kill them, and they will be able to go back to their homes and back to their families. So the mothers of the Kohen Gadol used to do whatever they can in their power to keep the people happy in the refuge city, so they would not pray for their sons to die so they can go back home. And the question is, why Dafka Kohen Gadol has to die? I mean, if a person made a mistake and he fell on a ladder or something, he did something and accidentally killed another person, or he was chopping wood and he went and iron fell and he killed somebody by mistake, so that's the fault of the Kohen Gadol. I mean, he didn't do it. And the answer is, yes, of course he did it. He's responsible for that. I mean, he didn't do it, but he's responsible for that. Why? Because the Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippurim, upon entering Yom Kippurim, when he prays in the Holy of Holies, he should pray that those things will not happen. And therefore, if things like this happened, even if it's by mistake, there's no such thing as things happen haphazardly, just there is a directing hand and stuff like that. So therefore, apparently, he didn't pray that hard, or didn't pray well enough. So ultimately, that's his fault. And yes, he is somewhat responsible for that. It says in the Gemara that one time a person died or something, or some animal ate, and the person 3 parsaot away from the village of Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. And to Rabbi Yeshua, Eliyahu Navi used to come and learn with him every day. So then, one time he didn't come, Eliyahu didn't come for 3 days. I said, what's the connection? Because Yeshua ben Levi should have been praying for the people in his generation, for things like this, for the shalom, for the well-being of the people. And he wasn't a Kohen, but he was Gadol Ador, he was a Ben Torah. And that's what we keep saying all the time. We need to understand that we have a mutual communal responsibility. We have to be involved and feel responsible for what is happening in our community. If, God forbid, there is a fight in the shul, and of course you weren't involved with it, but you were involved with it. How? Because you are part of that shul. And apparently you haven't done whatever you can in your power to spread a positive Torah attitude for these things to happen. So in a way you are responsible as well. And you see it from the words of the Rambam, when the Rambam says when a person is about to do an action, he should contemplate on it as if the whole destiny of not only himself, the whole destiny of the world is dependent on that action that you're about to do, because you are responsible. If I decided to do a good thing, and he decided to do a good thing, and you, and all of us decide to do a good thing, so all of a sudden a lot of the good things happen. And since a lot of good things happen, we change the environment in which we live in. It becomes a good environment. And when there's a good environment, the behavior of people changes in return. So we are responsible. But so let me ask you a question, if that's the case. I spoke about it earlier. But when I daven, Bonei Yerushalayim, Baruch Ata Hashem Bonei Yerushalayim, do I really mean that? Do I really mean that? Do I really care about them? Hashiva Shoftenu Kivarishona Ve'yoatzenu Kivatchila, do I really mean that? I know, Rafa'enu, I want to be healthy, but he didn't say Rafa'eni, Rafa'enu. Do I really mean what I'm saying? Because if I don't mean what I'm saying, if I don't say, Umalchut bet David meshichach tachzirena limkoma b'yamenu, if I don't say, Retzeh Hashem Elokeinu be'amcha Yisrael ve'tfilatam sha'eh ve'ashev ha'avodah le'dvir beit, I don't really mean that. I don't really mean v'techezena eineinu b'shuvcha le'tzion berachamim. I don't mean it, I just say it. Do you think we will ever be merited to see the return of Hashem to Zion? No. And whose fault is that? It's our fault. We didn't mean it. It's very nice that you are working on yourself. It is very important to work on yourself. But it's also needed to be responsible. You need to be responsible. You really need to be genuine in what you do. Do things because they needed to be done, not because you're going to get some kind of a benefit of a name or reward or kavod or respect or anything like that. Do it because it needs to be done. After you do that, and you practice, how long we are before Rosh Hashanah? Not so long, I don't know, 3 weeks before Rosh Hashanah. You have minimum at least 3 weeks to work on yourself. 3 weeks is 21 days. About 70 tefillot at least we can pray. So practice for the next 70 prayers that we have ahead of us. Try to practice real, genuine concern and genuine care. Contemplate as if you were priests. And then you might have a good tefillah, Rosh Hashanah. And then you'll see that you don't need all the extra super chazanim with beautiful, magnificent voice that can last for 5 hours on a note. You'll understand that this is very superficial. When you don't have the internal, you need a lot of external. If I want to listen to good voice, so I'll put Pavarotti, I'll listen to Placido Domingo, I'll put Caruso, I'll listen to that if I want to listen to a good voice. But if I want to pray, prayer needs to come from inside. I need to awaken the voice inside. And how do I do so? By really, really mean what I say, and really feel the sense of responsibility. And hopefully we'll do that. So good night.